why ABS pipe cracks and how to prevent it. A lot of times you'll have ABS pipe that seems like it's starting to crack for no reason. There are reasons it's happening, but before I go over those, I want to go over the different types of ABS out there. The most common is ABS Schedule 40 DWV. It connects with ABS glue, and it hasn't changed since the 1960s when they started making it. Another style of ABS we still use is ABS slip joint black. It connects with these slip joint nuts, and you'll find this in P-traps under sinks. Now let's move on to some old styles of ABS we no longer use. One that was popular in the 70s was ABS slip joint gray. It was also connected with slip joint nuts, and you could also find it in P-traps and things like that. Now this ABS is different than the Schedule 40 gray PVC from the same era. Another old style of ABS that goes very far back is ABS pressure, and Yardley started making this stuff in 1946. This one was made by GSR, and it's from the 70s. The fittings were very heavy duty, but the pipe was very thin, and I think it was copper tubing size. These would be connected with glue connections. Another style of ABS which I don't have with me is ABS thin wall. It was popular in the 60s and 70s, but imagine Genova Schedule 30 made out of ABS in black. Now that we know the different styles of ABS out there, let's go over why they fail. And it's not anything that has to do with the ABS slip joint. It's only ABS pipe that glues together. So that tells me it's something about the glue that breaks down the ABS pipe. I put a bunch of 60s or 70s ABS fittings together. I didn't glue them, I just stuck them together. And they're as strong as they were the day they were made. Now let's say I went 50 years ago, glued this connection, and then applied pressure. It would break at a glue joint. Sometimes it might break along the glue line on the pipe, or it might break where the glue is inside the fitting behind the hub. So something about the glue makes this part start to weaken and then finally break. Now that takes about 40 years to finally break. But there was some ABS in the mid-80s that was so bad, it would actually fail very quickly. And this is one of those fittings. And it was made by a company called Phoenix. And Phoenix would use defective ABS resin to make their fittings, and that would make them very brittle very quickly. So there's so many issues and so many lawsuits back then, and that's why you don't see too much of this around anymore. Now let's say I glued that connection 30 years ago, and then I came back now to break it. It would break a lot easier than the not defective ABS pipe would. Now, how do we prevent ABS pipe from breaking? Now, if it's defective ABS pipe from the 80s, there's nothing you can really do. You just kind of have to get rid of it. But if it's normal ABS pipe that's getting brittle just because of the glue over the years, you can try to strap this up, but not apply too much force to prevent it from breaking, okay? You can use plastic pipe strap and just strap it up nicely. Don't force it or anything. Just give it a gentle strap so you can prevent it from breaking. And that's the same for the ABS pressure. Let's say you have an ABS water line coming out of the wall. Just strap it up gently. You don't have to be too rough with it. We just want to do what we can to prevent it from breaking. Now, if you install new ABS pipe like this stuff here, just strap it up really well and add no-hub couplings throughout the line so that way you can allow this to flex if there's any movement in the line without making the fittings flex. Because when the fittings flex, they're going to break. You want the no-hub couplings to flex because those will flex without breaking.